everyone, and welcome to AMC Movie Talk for movie fans. I'm Chrisley Kennedy, and this is the show we bring you the day's biggest movie news, and of course, we give you insight into what it all means. The fearless leader is still away, so we have helming our desk today, very excited, our AMC Movie News editor, Miss Amy Rose Eisenbach.
Welcome back, guys. We had such a fun time with you yesterday, and we're gonna do it again. I have two very special guests today that you have never met before, so on with the introductions.
Yes, you may have not met them before, but I'm sure you've seen or heard of them because from our first guest is Silas Lesnick from ComingSoon.net. Hey, Silas.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me.
And my favorite person to follow on Instagram for all her crazy pictures, the creator of Geek Bomb, Miss Maude Garrett.
I don't understand all this crazy talk. I'm so sane.
Well, with that, we're going to get started. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has confirmed his participation in an upcoming DC project. He's hinted, but not revealed, who he will be playing, however, laying out the three core elements that the character has. The Rock stated that he had to be extremely complex and have a lot going on, that he was well-known but never brought to life, and that he was a badass mother, beep, and on a Superman level of power where he could throw down. He also tweeted, "Green Lantern, Jon Stewart, and Black Adam are my fave superheroes, but GL's already been made and stamped." Amy Rose, what do you make of The Rock's comments?
First of all, very in-depth analysis of what he's looking for. He's obviously thought about this before. And I mean, we've talked about this so many times on the show. Like, he's made to be a superhero. I mean, he just is. He's built that way. He's got great charisma, whether you're on board with his acting chops or not. I mean, I think Snitch really showed that he can act. He's not just the pretty face that we love him for. So yeah, I'm happy about this news. I'm happy that, you know, he's confirmed. And I mean, but we saw Hal Jordan. We didn't see Jon Stewart. So that, to me, makes me think he's not going to be that incarnation of the Green Lantern, which is a little disappointing. I think that'd be good. So obviously we think of other people who could be Lobo, Martian Manhunter, Black Adam, of course. I mean, there's a couple characters, but this all, I feel like, I'm glad the confirmation's happening, but he's gonna play with this as long as he can and tease this out until, you know, he's confirmed. But I'm glad we got this much out of him, so I'm really happy to see it. I'd be happy with all of that. I just don't want him in Batman vs. Superman. I really don't. This is just getting way too crowded and way too crazy. If we really do get Justice League, and he is, you know, Green Lantern, whatever it happens, I just hope that it's a standalone movie or a different film or just a really quick little cameo teasing it, but I just don't want this to take away from Superman's sequel and then a little Batman action in the mix. So yeah, what do you think about this, Silas?
Absolutely. I personally kind of hope it's Lobo, just because I can imagine a Lobo movie being really, really weird, and funny, and I like him a lot. Even acting, I think he's a fantastic actor. I think he's full of charisma. Black Adam would be a little weirder because he's not a character that many people know.
Which is what I like about it.
Well, I mean, in a Shazam movie, absolutely, he would be a great villain. I know in the comics right now, Black Adam is more of an ally with the Justice League. It seems a little more in-depth than I would guess that DC would jump into, but I'd love to be impressed with a really out-there choice.
Yeah. Maude?
I just think, I mean, let's have a look right now at you and I. You are rocking a Marvel t-shirt, and I am in a DC jacket.
Boom!
It's like there is so many adaptations at the moment that if you're not a superhero and you're a Hollywood actor, you're doing something wrong. So the fact that he's brought out this news, and I mean, this guy, I mean, once I shook his hand and I'm still recovering from the crushed bones in it. Like, if he's not a superhero, well, then he shouldn't be doing this at all. The whole teasing thing, whatever. You know, you were a wrestler and now you're a successful actor. Don't play games with us. We own you. Don't forget that, The Rock. I'm still pissed about the hand. Sorry.
All right, what's next, Chris?
Well, sticking with the theme of The Rock, the first official trailer has been released for the Brett Ratner film Hercules. A brand new trailer has also been released for the Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt sci-fi thriller Edge of Tomorrow. Maude, what is your impression of both of these new trailers?
Oh my gosh, The Rock, what are you doing? Don't be like, yeah, DC superheroes is what it's at, and then wear a lion on your head. I think we've established in this day and age that superheroes do outweigh Grecian heroes. The Hercules, I mean, Kevin Sorbo must be so annoyed. You know, have you interviewed Kevin Sorbo?
No.
Okay, cool, I have. He's still holding on. He hasn't let it go. And if he hasn't let it go, then I don't think we should be letting it go and have someone else play it. I mean, it kind of just looks like a revived Scorpion King that he was in. The movie, we wanted to like it, but it wasn't great. And I think that this is the same thing. But I recently watched Disney's Hercules again.
That is so good.
So good. It was really underrated as a Disney film, I feel.
I loved it. What about Edge of Tomorrow? What do you think of that one?
Look, I'm a gamer. I play video games a lot, and this just reminds me of Titanfall and respawning. So it's like you're just in a video game, which I love. I think it's great. I'm just sick of seeing Tom Cruise in this role. I think Emily Blunt will be the standout. I think she looks great in this. I love her as a blonde. That's completely irrelevant. It's quite a shallow statement to make, so I apologise, but I'm a Turk. But yeah, it looks like kind of like a Titanfall for me. The story looks complex, but then wasn't every other sci-fi movie that Tom Cruise has ever been in. Same, but different.
Yeah. What do you think, Silas?
Personally, I am kind of more excited about Edge of Tomorrow. I love Chris McQuarrie, and his involvement with the script has me really excited. I'm a big science fiction fan. That just looks cool to me. Hercules looks really interesting. I'm not the world's biggest Brett Ratner fan, but I've certainly liked things he's done in the past. I'd like to be wowed, and as I said before, Dwayne Johnson is incredible.
He's hot right now.
And speaking of it, Hercules is actually a superhero in the Marvel universe. So if you wanted, you could go see Hercules and just sort of pretend that it's the Marvel Hercules origin story.
Hercules, I thought the trailer itself was cool, but I hated the narration. I absolutely hated it. It kind of took me out of it. Like, it just felt really cheesy. And I know it has to be a certain level of epicness, but that part just kind of took me out of it. He's amazing. I mean, you're right. It's funny to hear this DC news and then, you know, see the lion on his head. I think he's going to be a great Hercules. Brett Ratner's very hit or miss for me. I'm still, you know, really upset about X3. I can't get over it. And he ruined that for me. He ruined a really good trilogy. So, Brett, I got some beef with you. But he has made some decent films. And I do think that if anyone is going to be this new incarnation of Hercules, there's no one better than The Rock. Edge of Tomorrow, I'm really excited about this. I also love his involvement. Emily Blunt, she is such a babe. She's so talented. I remember The Adjustment Bureau that I had very little interest in, and I thought it was really interesting. And I really love her as an actress, and she's just a babe. She's wonderful. Tom Cruise, you know, I get it. He does kind of do the same role again and again, but I like him as an action star. I like him. I would like to see more Les Grossmans, because I thought, you know, in Tropic Thunder that was amazing. But he's a believable, good action star. This kind of has a Pacific Rim feel to it, just by what I saw, as well as Titan. I totally see that correlation to the game. So yeah, I am really excited about this. Sci-fi, that's my ish, so I'm really looking forward to it. All right, my friends, we are now on to the buy or sell portion of the show. Miss Chrisley is going to read off a couple other items going on in the world of movie news, and my wonderful panelists and I are simply going to say if we buy or sell it. What you got, lady?
The famous comedic duo of Cheech and Chong are reuniting for a new movie. Jay Chandrasekhar from the Broken Lizard crew is penning the script. Chong stated he's working a script right now for us. We've had some preliminary meetings, and it looks really good. It looks really funny. It's about us going to a festival, and all sorts of shenanigans happen. It's going to be a lot of fun. Silas, buy or sell the sounds of this new Cheech and Chong project?
I would say buy, just because I'm hoping it can be the Before Midnight of the Cheech and Chong franchise.
Yes.
I don't think my Australian money buys this. And I've brought this out just to prove a point. A, we have very pretty money.
It is really pretty.
And
I was going to say that.
So you can put it in the wash and it won't fall apart. But the thing is, Australia hasn't heard of, I've never heard of these guys.
Yeah.
I don't think it took off in Australia. I don't think
Come on, Cheech and Chong, go global. I'm going to buy this mostly for the Broken Lizard guy who's writing it. I love their troupe. They're so clever, they're so great. Cheech and Chong, you know, whether you like their films, love what they stand for, whatever, I just think they're really cute together. They're very comedic, they have a lot of love and a lot of history. And add the Broken Lizard dude, Jay, to the mix, and I think it could be really funny and fun, so why not? I just want another Broken Lizard film.
What I'm holding out for, though, is the sort of stoner Avengers. So we could have Cheech and Chong and Jay and Silent Bob and Harold and Kumar. That would be an amazing film.
The ultimate crossover. I love this.
I have to say, I heard festival, and I kind of sort of hoped that maybe when Amy Rose and I go to Coachella this year, that we may see Cheech and Chong at Coachella, because that's a festival, Cheech and Chong-ish, right? Maybe?
All right, what's next?
All right, a new image of Dane DeHaan as the Green Goblin has been released from the upcoming Amazing Spider-Man 2. The armor is definitely still intact, but it looks very different from the Sam Raimi films. Amy Rose, buy or sell this new image of DeHaan as the Green Goblin?
He looks fierce, man. I am buying this. Like, he looks so menacing and so evil and so awesome, and I love Dane DeHaan. Like, he is one of my favorite young rising actors. Everything he's done, he's so calculated with his career. He's just done these films with heart and indies and nothing, very unconventional, and this is the first, like, big, crazy blockbuster, and I just think he looks awesome. I think he's gonna be a great Harry Osborn. I'm a little confused why they're not gonna show the Chris Cooper Green Goblin, because I really do like the Norman. I talk about this a lot. That's a storyline I really like, the succession, from father to son. So I do hope they show a little of that. But yeah, I'm getting a little tired of all the Spider-Man 2 materials because it's like every week something new. But this one, I'm very on board. So enthusiastic buy. What do you think, Maude?
It looks like Chris Pine meets Dobby.
Oh, Dobby!
Like that's been attacked by evil, I guess. I really dig it. You're right. I think that Dane DeHaan's doing great things, and he does bad well, and I like the direction that they're going with it. I just hope they don't make it cheesy. I kind of felt like in the previous Spider-Mans that it just turned a little bit cheesy a little bit quickly.
Silas?
I love cheese in comic book movies. The sillier a comic book movie can be and still have that verisimilitude, I'm there. I like this a lot.
Yeah.
It's scary. There's also sort of an Andrew Garfield look to his hair, and I almost wonder if it's not. Well, originally when pictures came out, people were thinking, "Is that him as Green Goblin?" I think it's just trying to make him an antagonist that mirrors the hero.
I think that's a really smart move.
But it looks great, and Dane DeHaan is fantastic.
So good.
Kill Your Darlings was one of my favorite movies last year. Yes. I don't think he got a lot of attention for it.
No,
but it was,
no one even saw it.
was
Go see
really
Kill Your
good.
Darlings. Yeah, he's really, everything he's in, I'm just like, I can't take my eyes off him. He's great, so this looks really good. What's next, my dear?
Real-life husband and wife Chris Pratt and Anna Faris are set to star in a new comedy together titled Vacation Friends. Hot Tub Time Machine director Steve Pink is at the helm, and the film is described as What About Bob, with their crazy duo as the Bob-esque character. Maude, buy or sell the sounds of Vacation Friends?
Can I buy Chris Pratt and sell his wife?
Aww.
Is that bad? I'm such a Chris Pratt fan at the moment. I think he's gone from strength to strength, and the new Galaxy of the Guardians of the Galaxy trailer, I'm just like, boom, sold. But I think Anna Faris, I mean, I love her in Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs because you can't see her go the whole time, which is what she made her career on. Oh, it's too early to say these horrible things.
Silas, what do you think?
I could never say anything mean about Anna Faris. She's great. I'm not somebody that gets very into Hollywood couples, but it seems like the two of them are amazing together. I'm excited to see them work together. I love What About Bob. I'd buy it.
I also buy it. Chris Pratt, it's the year of the Pratt. We've talked about this. There's no one I am more excited about for his career taking off. I mean, he was even great as a Lego. Like, he's amazing. I can't wait to see him in Jurassic World. Like, he's just taking Guardians. We're freaking out about it. It looks sensational. But I do like Anna Faris. I think she's really good at comedic timing, and she's a babe. And that's a hard thing to not, over-sexualize a comedic actress. I think she does do that a lot. Whatever she did, but it doesn't bother me. And What About Bob is a classic, one of Bill Murray's best. And I am on board with this. I think that's cute. And they're obviously gonna have really great chemistry because it's real. So yeah, I'm on board for now.
What if they don't? What if they don't have
They
good
don't
chemistry?
act well together?
Oh, that would be bad. Now I'm scared.
I actually really like the idea that they're playing the annoying couple. They're not going for an actual relationship type thing. I mean, it's early on, but that seems like a lot more fun to me.
Yeah. This sounds like a more Parks and Rec character for him too. Like, they're gonna be doe-eyed and just kind of goofy, and like, I think it will be fun. But hopefully we'll get you on board with Anna. She likes you, so. All right, so before we get into mailbag, our own Chrisley Kennedy had a chance to speak with Joe Manganiello recently about Sabotage, which hits AMC theaters this Friday. Really exciting film, and there's a fun little tidbit we're about to show you, and Chris Lee can give her 2 cents after. So here's the clip with Chris Lee and Joe Manganiello.
You mentioned Arnold. Tell me about working with him, because I know that he's been someone that you've kind of looked up to in many ways for a long time. So what was it like kind of the first day meeting him and then going on set with him and working with him?
Well, you know, Arnold is an icon, and I'm not throwing that word around. There are only a handful of icons that I see it for my generation. You know, the generation before, you know, you got Elvis and you got Frank, you got, you know, that kind of stuff. But for mine, it's, you're talking Michael Jordan, you're talking Michael Jackson, you're talking Madonna, you're talking Arnold. You know, I've never met a more charismatic person in my life, and he might be the most intelligent person I've ever met in my life. You know, philanthropic, political, you know, just world-reaching. I don't know anybody else that I can think of that's had as much. Well, I mean, maybe there's, but you know, you would be hard pressed to find somebody who has more influence over the world than that guy does. With that said, I had his poster on my wall as a kid with all the other Mr. Olympias, and I saw every single one of his movies, could quote them backwards and forwards. He was the reason I picked up a weight in the first place, ever started bodybuilding. He was the reason I ever dreamed of maybe someday becoming an action hero, you know, be in an action movie. So to meet him, yeah, it was like in the Terminator when the landlord comes in and he turns and, you know, all the different responses. I mean, basically my brain was like, don't be an idiot. Don't do something stupid. Like that was basically all of my choices. You know, but he couldn't be a better friend. I mean, he's been there to support me, whether it's writing the foreword for my bodybuilding book or showing up to an event, or, you know, I directed and financed the movie and he came to an early screening of it just to see it and be supportive. And it's, you know, we travel around on the jet and we've driven 28,000-pound military vehicles together and smoked cigars, and, you know, it's just, he's the best. You know, he's just, he's all that and more. You know, a lot of times you meet celebrities and you're like, ugh, you know, you're like that, man? You know, and you want to build a time machine and take those posters down off your wall. But Arnold's, you know, he makes you wish he could go back in time and put up more. I mean, he really is all that.
I hear you do a mean Arnold impression.
Don't me. What is with this tie business? What's the matter? The CIA got you pushing too many pencils?
That is my favorite ever. I love it. Thank you. And so I have to finally...
Like discipline. Who is your daddy and what does he do? Who are you?
You have made my day. Completely
Stop
made
it.
my day.
All right, cool.
2 interviews in one. 2 interviews in one.
You crushed that, Joe. What an impression. I mean, he's really good looking, and he's a good actor, and he does a mean Arnold impression. I am on board. So Sabotage in theaters. Go to amctheaters.com for your ticket and showtime information. So before we jump into mailbag, I do want to let you know that we are going to take some live user-submitted questions. So be nice to Miss Chrisley over there. Tweet her your questions, and she'll pick a few out for us to address. All right, so on to mailbag. We have a couple other user-submitted questions we picked out that you emailed to us. And Miss Chrisley is going to read off the first one right now.
It's so funny because this first one is about Eva Green, and everyone is asking Eva Green questions on Twitter as well. So Aaron Tansman wants to know, hey, AMC Movie Talkers, love your show, watch it every day. My question is, do you think Eva Green would be a good fit for Catwoman in the upcoming Ben Affleck Batman movies?
Oh, yes. Thanks for the question. I am such an Eva Green fan, and we found out at the junket it's Eva Green, not Eva.
Sorry.
And no, we didn't know. We didn't know either, because it's written as Eva. But she is just such a babe. She's such a phenomenal, like, you know, we saw 300 together.
We certainly did.
And she very much has that air down and that sexiness. And I mean, she's already done it in 300. She was the best part of that film. Mm-hmm. She was just carrying it, and she just has the femme fatale thing down. Very strong, can really hold her own against a mostly male cast. And I think she would be great as Catwoman. I actually really liked Anne Hathaway. When she was first cast, I was like, huh, really? You're gonna get the Princess Diaries up in here? And I think she's a really good actress, but that's not who I had in mind. I mean, And I mean, after Halle Berry, wah wah, and like actually Michelle Pfeiffer had at least the sexiness down and like just like, you know, the seductress aspect. But I thought Anne Hathaway was awesome, and I think, I mean, look at that picture. Wow. Give me a break. She is just such a babe, and she's really, really talented. I cannot wait to see her in Sin City. She's the perfect Ava Lord. She's phenomenal. So yeah, I'm really on board with her as Catwoman. What do you think, Silas?
Absolutely. I mean, I like her a lot. She's the best part of 300, which wasn't my favorite, but she's fantastic in it. It's maybe putting the cart before the horse, because this is a movie that is only theorized, and then her role in it is theorized. That being said, go for it. Let's see some fan art.
Yeah, fan art. Maude?
A lot of what ifs. Eva Green has a bad habit when acting, and at the start I didn't like it when she was a Bond girl, but she would follow her voice into this, and this is how she would talk, and this is Eva Green when she is acting. And like as a Bond girl, I didn't like that. In 300, it worked.
It did work.
As Catwoman, she's purring, so it makes sense.
She's perfect.
Yes. No, I'd like to see her in that. I actually spoke to her when we interviewed her for 300, and I was like, what kind of next role would you like? And she's trying to steer away from that strong female role and wants to do comedy.
Comedy? I would like to see that. What about you, Chris? Would you like to see Miss Eva Green as Catwoman?
I started reading questions and got lost in all of your answers, and I agree. I really liked Anne Hathaway as Catwoman, and I did not think I would. But I don't love Eva Green for Catwoman.
Oh, a split panel.
Or Wonder Woman, because a lot of people are asking about her as Wonder Woman, so just wanted to clear that up as well. All right, Taylor Hildebrand writes, hello everyone, I'm a massive fan of the show. When I watch a movie, there are a lot of elements that I look for, like the acting, directing, writing, and so on. What is your opinion on the most important element that makes up a movie? Thanks guys, and bring on the filthy.
That's a great question, Taylor. You know, all these elements form a film that has to be meaningful or whatever it's aiming for. And, you know, whenever something goes wrong, everyone blames the writer or the director, but it's the company as a whole. I mean, there's not one piece that's not important. For a film, I mean, some films, it's visually stunning, or it's this, or the lighting, or the characters. For me, it's the characters the most important part. Because if I don't have, you know, an affinity towards, if I don't have a connection with the characters, I'm going to be taken out of the movie. I'm not going to care if they die. I'm not going to care what, you know, turmoil happens in their life. So to me, if you have a really well-written character and series of characters, and you watch the arc throughout the course of the film, that can be the really big difference. And I think a lot of the great films, like horror films, for example, if they have really strong character-driven films, those hit harder for me than just the, you know, shock, terror value. And I feel that way about most films. The Coen brothers, some of my favorite directors ever, their characters are so memorable and so incredible. And sure, they're amazing filmmakers and everything else going for them, their shots, everything, but the characters are number one for me. So that's, you know, as a writer myself, that's the thing that really pops out of the page for me. But then, you know, we were talking about Prometheus. For me, what characters? Like, it was only visually stunning. So I can admire that, but I didn't feel connection to any of them. So that's the thing that really, you know, jumps out to me. What about you, Maude?
I'm going to go one deeper than characters. It's the chemistry between the characters, because you can have really well-written characters, but if they're talking to each other like they're talking to a stranger, that resonates with me.
Totally.
Like if there's chemistry there, the character's enhanced immediately. Like some of the best movies that I've seen, you know, it's because you believe those two, and you know, perfect examples, The Notebook. They ended up going out afterwards. You know, but I walked away from that. Oh, this is really personal, and I'm sharing. I walked away from that movie thinking that I could never love anyone unless it was Ryan Gosling. So I cried for 7 hours.
I think we all had that feeling.
Yeah,
honey.
okay. That's good chemistry, though.
That is good chemistry. That is really important, because you can't teach that. It's there or it's not. And if it's not, it's like embarrassing. It's like uncomfortable. But if it is, you're like, yeah, they're gonna date after this. Yeah. Silas?
You know, I've never seen The Notebook.
You're
Maude's out.
fired.
It's the only Nicholas Sparks film that I can honestly say was a really well-written story. The other ones,
not great.
But that one is actually worth your time if you have any love bones in you.
No love. I would say what I look for is ideas that I continue to think about when I've left the theater. And I think the easiest way a movie can do that is by sort of having a theme or a thesis that I wouldn't necessarily agree with, but having seen play out in the story, I, by the end of the movie, say, okay, I understand where they're coming from.
Example.
Noah, which is coming out this week, I was a really big fan of. I'm not a religious person, but I can totally see how somebody who is devoutly religious would identify
Still
with the
appreciate
story.
that.
Yeah.
Good. I love Aronofsky, and that cast is phenomenal. So I'm really looking forward to it. What about you, Miss Chrisley? What's like the element in a film that like really gets you?
I love this question because I think it depends so much on what kind of film I'm seeing. Where I agree with Silas that if there's something that I'm thinking about days after, like Out of the Furnace for me, the last scene in that movie I thought about for days.
Oh yeah, it haunted me.
Inside Llewyn Davis, I thought about just being that tortured for days. But it depends on the movie. I mean, if I'm going to see a movie like Sabotage, for instance, I want it to be fun. I want to be at the end of my seat. I want to not know what's coming next. I don't want to see the same boring movie all over again. And for me, as much as I love to see the characters and I love to see the story, it's the experience. So if I walk out of that movie theater and I had a great time and it was a popcorn flick or it was a comedy or it was a romantic comedy, even though my heart is filled with darkness and I usually hate them, as long as I had fun, then to me that's all that matters.
But you loved The Notebook, right? Let's be clear.
I mean, who doesn't love The Notebook?
Silas, because he's never
even
seen
my
it.
empty heart loves The Notebook.
All right, now it's live questions time, my friends, and the lovely gatekeeper, Chrisley, has some picked out. What's the first one?
I do have some picked out. I just have to find where I picked them because we're going so fast today. Okay, let's see. Yuri Corngreen wants to know, and I don't know if we've covered this or not, but I know that they've dropped a new trailer since. So, what do you guys think about the new Maleficent trailers?
Ooh, you just went, I'll let you start, Maude.
Well, I read an article recently about how Ange was going through a really dark time, and Brad Pitt said that instead of kind of pulling her back down, he flooded her with compliments and made her feel beautiful. And I think that this movie is like the where she feels whole again as a person because she's really taking, like, she looks fantastic in the role, in the costume. Everyone's talking about it. I think this is the comeback. And she's, you know, just directed a movie as well, so she's got a lot on her plate. But this is like, I think she was born to do this role.
Let's back up. How can Angelina Jolie not feel beautiful? She's like the definition of beautiful.
Yeah.
And she is just like such a courageous, incredible person. All her humanitarian work. Like I was at the D23 convention last year, and there were only a couple standing ovations for people that came out, and she was one of them. And she deserves all the praise. She's a Gemini like me, kind of stoked. But yeah, Maleficent, I think it's great. I don't want to see much more than what we've been seeing because part of, what I love about fairy tales and all this is the mystery. And I feel like if they just keep revealing everything, that's kind of being taken out. But I love this. I always call it the Wicked approach, showing the untold from the perspective of the evil character. And she was, you're right, born to play this role. Like, she's perfect. And Maleficent is one of my favorite evil, Disney characters because she actually has clear-cut motivations. A lot of them are just evil, and you're like, cool. And most of them are women. Thanks, Disney. Yeah, I think that it is great, and I think Elle Fanning is going to be a great choice for that as well. And I am curious to see it. I'm pretty excited about it. Silas?
I'm excited too. I hope that it seems like Disney is targeting a number of fairy tale stories. Some they've done as animated features for live action, and we've seen big hits with Alice in Wonderland and Oz. And I hope this is another one. Angelina Jolie looks great. It's first-time director, which is going to be interesting. He was the art director on Oz, Alice, and he worked on Avatar as well.
So he's good at visuals, huh?
Absolutely, and I'm hopeful it transfers over to storytelling as well.
I can't say it though, Maleficent.
Maleficent.
Oh, I got it. It's a good day.
What's next, Chris?
Duala Omar wants to know, do you think Venom, Eddie Brock, can work as Sony's answer to Loki?
Ooh, I hope so, because we have talked about this a lot on the show. I mean, Venom was not Topher Grace. Like, that was that was like embarrassing.
Not okay.
That was not okay.
No.
It was embarrassing, and Venom is such an amazing character. I want to see Carnage up in there too. I mean, they have so many villains that they have barely touched the surface with, and I think Green Goblin is a really good step because, I didn't think that was awful in the Raimi version, but I think they can do it better, and I think that they're going to in Mark Webb's second film. But yeah, Venom needs to be redeemed, and I think he's a great standalone film. We know we're getting it, Sinister Six, Venom, but that was so embarrassing. That was almost as bad as emo Peter Parker, and that was really bad. So yeah, Maude, you seem like you have a sentiment on this subject.
Oh, that was that movie. It was kind of just, I don't know, brushed over, but that was probably the worst miscast role of the century.
And I liked Topher Grace, just not for that.
Was so wrong for it. And then when it happened, you just cringed, and you're like, oh, yeah, redemption is key for this one.
Yeah, and Loki is so loved for good reason. Tom Hiddleston, I mean, he's so charming.
I don't think you can be Loki without Tom, though. Tom Hiddleston made that role.
He did
and
make
so to
that
have
role.
someone, go into those shoes, I pity them. I'm scared for them. I would not want to.
Because he's got charisma, and that's the thing that a lot of villains don't have. It's a little more flat, and Loki is breathing off the page. He's just like menacing and fun, and he's a Dickens.
They rewrote the second movie to have like 10 times more scenes for Loki.
More Loki all the time, please.
Because it resonated so much with the audience.
Yeah. What are your thoughts, Silas?
I have a lot to say about Venom.
Let's go.
I guess, first off, who's to say it's going to be Eddie Brock? We don't know. It could be Flash Thompson is the current Venom in the comic. I like Spider-Man 3.
What?
And I'll start by saying Venom is not a great character. Venom is a really cool-looking character. But Eddie Brock, he's a photographer. Do you know anything else about him other than that he's Venom?
I think that's cool.
It's not cool.
Silas?
He's just this like sort of hawking villain guy. I think the reflection of Peter Parker, like we were talking about with Green Goblin, is really interesting. And I think, yes, Spider-Man 3 makes you cringe, but it makes you cringe because it's a breakup movie. It
should be broken up and erased from our memories, Silas. No.
It has some problems, but I'm a big fan of Spider-Man 3.
Wow. Who is this character?
I think that's the best version of Venom we've seen, and I like Topher Grace.
I like Topher Grace, just not as Venom.
Not as Venom.
Like that was.
I will agree, though, out of the two that I mentioned, that Carnage, his backstory is much more fascinating to me. And like, he's evil. Like, he is freaking evil, man. And like, all of that. I mean, I don't know how much they would really show of that because a lot of it is not going to be PG-13 friendly. So they'll probably tone it down. But yeah, no, Topher. Good for you. You stand alone on the mountain of Spider-Man 3.
I like it.
Meanwhile, I want to be emo.
Emo Peter Parker dancing. We can recreate it right now. All right, let's take one more. Cressley.
Luke Bradley wants to know if anyone has heard anything about a Tremors remake.
I personally have not. I heard a while ago that they were thinking about it because, surprise, they're remaking everything in Hollywood. But I haven't heard anything recently. Have you guys?
I don't even know the first Tremors. I mean, it doesn't sound exciting. Well, it was a tremor. How are you going to make that into a movie? Like, I had my first earthquake in LA.
That was your first one?
Yeah.
That was creepy, right?
that was riveting, but it's a tremor. What's Tremor about apart from fact?
It's monsters that are under the ground.
Okay.
Called graboids, and when they hear you walking, they come up and eat you. So it's these
That's
people...
terrifying.
Yeah, it's really good.
God, no, can we not make that? I'm so scared as a person.
Then success. That's good. Do you not like horror movies?
Not at all.
Oh, I love
Not at all.
them.
No. I have a phobia, actually, of Chucky.
So I have a homework assignment then because Chrysler doesn't like scary movies either, but she's been a little more open to them. So the three of us are gonna go. I'm gonna hold both of your hands.
No.
And we're
Sorry.
Silas, would you like to see a Tremors remake? Have you heard anything of it?
I as a rule, my favorite kind of remakes are the ones that are technically sequels but look like remakes to people that don't know any better. If that happens with Tremors, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything specifically though.
Yeah. Well, Maude's on board. She's really excited about it. All right, guys, we're all out of time. Thank you so much for joining us for the debut of two of my favorite people in this industry. Thank you so much for joining us. Like us, share us. You know the deal. We really appreciate your support. I would like to thank Silas Lesnick. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
Where can people find you online?
On comingsoon.net and Superhero Hype.
There you go. Maude Garrett, wonderful lady. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me as well.
Where can people find you?
Geekbomb.net or at Maude Garrett. And if you, it's a lot of letters in that, you'll figure it out.
I hear she makes some mean vines too, so look for that.
Yeah. I vine like Tarzan.
Boom. The lovely Chrysler Kennedy, our host for today. Where can people find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Chrysler and sometimes in the chat board. So be nice, guys. Be nice.
Be nice. We love our Chrysler. So thank you so much for joining us. Dennis will be back in the captain's chair tomorrow with some other special guests. I'm Amy Rose with AMC Movie News. You can find me on the various social channels. And once again, for joining me, I had a blast with you this week, and I'll see you next week.
If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to AMC Movie News on YouTube. It's free and a great way to stay updated with all the latest movie news and check out our daily show, AMC Movie Talk. Also, don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter to stay in the loop for our special prizes, giveaways, and contests.